earbud is connected. It's time to begin. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back, everybody. We're doing 45 to 60 minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility work. We do this every single day to practice consistency to build a little bit of community. I don't know why I'm stirring like a pot when I do this, but hopefully that helps us all to practice a little bit more consistency and make a little bit of progress towards our goals. All right? Whee! Actually, I have no idea what this is. What does it say? Welcome back. There you go. Welcome back. Welcome back. Cool. My, I'm wearing contacts, but these are like older contacts from slightly too long ago, and so the prescription is just a little too weak. So I can see, I can function, I can do normal things. But when I have to read small text, my eyes don't work that well. So I'm gonna be extra squinty when I'm really close to the cameras and be like, hmm. Lois says I'm so early. Hello, welcome. All right. That's enough time to get people to come on in. I think it's time to begin. Let's go. We're going to start with our hip cars. High knee. Open it up. Rotate that ankle. Rotate some more. Down and back. That's one. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's two. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's three. I think Jax just came in. Send some emojis. Ankle up. Down and back. That's four. Again. High knee. Open. Ankle up, down and back. That's five. Again, high knee. Open. Ankle up, down and back. That's six. I'm gonna go a little further back. My shadows are crazy because the light's in a different spot than usual today. High knee. Open. Ankle up, down and back. That's seven. High knee. Open. Ankle up, down and back. That's eight. Again, high knee. Open. Ankle up, down and back. That's nine. High knee. Open. Ankle up, down and back. That's 10. Those are hip cars. We've done one of 4 rounds. And if the lighting looks like it's moving, that is because that's true. That is what's happening. Give it a second. It's stabilized. It doesn't look like it's going to topple over. We're ready to continue. High knee on the other side. Open it up. Ankle. Ankle some more. Down and back. One. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. Two. You guys don't know how many times this light has fallen. And just earlier this week, it has fallen and smashed me in the head. And so when I paused to look at it, it was to do that, to make sure I'm not so close as it all boom and make me lose a couple of brain cells. Luckily, it's all plastic, so it's not like not like a crazy chandelier experience where glass is shattering everywhere while I'm barefoot or anything crazy like that. It's much more manageable. It's just a bonk on the head. That's 8. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's 9. But the last one I got, I was walking away from it. I walked away. It took like 3 steps and went boom. That, that was brutal. It wasn't even that bad, like pain wise, because the lights aren't very heavy. It was just really sad because I must have, like, out of the corner of my eye while I was not paying attention, while I was turning away, seeing that it was tilting. And then I walked and I walked and I walked and it smashed right into my head. Anyways, that is our hip cars going forward. Let's get ready to go hip cars. I'm going backwards. I hope you're ready. Because we're going to start by bringing the leg down and back. Flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes. Hold on to something for balance if you need to. I'm using the wall here as part of this demonstration. From here, we're lifting that leg up to the side. I want you to contract these muscles here in the side of your hip. If you can, try to keep your body a little bit more upright while you lift the leg. You don't have to lift the leg so high that your whole body is going sideways, right? If you notice, that leg isn't actually that lifted if you are actually sideways. So if you are standing upright, and then you just try your best to lift. It only goes out a little bit. That's absolutely fine because this is more of a lift than this. Ugh, okay, now my legs are tired. Anyways, here we go. We're going to rotate the knee down, ankle up, ankle down, knee up, and bring the knee forward. That's 1. We got 10 of these. We still have 10 of these? 10 of these. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 1. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 2. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 3. Keep going back. Side, ankle, ankle, knee. That's 4. Back, side, ankle, ankle, knee, that's 5. Keep going back. Side, ankle, ankle, knee, that's 6. Keep going back. Side, ankle, ankle, knee, that's 7. Again, back. Side, ankle, ankle, knee, that's 8. If this leg is feeling crazy right now because it's trying to stabilize all this movement that you're doing on the other side of your body, that is normal. 9, last one, back. Side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, that's 10. Oh, oh. There we go. That is 3 out of 4 hip cars. Shake out your legs. Shake them, shake them, shake them, shake them some more. Whew. Do a little wiggle in your hips. Relax some muscles. Boom, 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 boom. And, oh, all right. Take a second, catch your breath. I don't know why I'm so out of breath right now, but I am. All right, let's go. Last leg. Stand up nice and straight and tall. Stick this leg straight into the ground. Spread those toes. Grip the earth or floor. And let's begin. Leg back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. Knee. That's 1. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. Knee. That's 2. Remember, the goal is to get as much motion out of this thigh bone in the hip socket as you can. All right. Oh. So if you and your whole entire upper body is moving all over the place when you're doing these movements, you might not be getting as much out of the hip as you think you are, even though you're going all the way over here. All right. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. Knee. I think that's 6. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. Knee. That's 7. 3 more. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. Knee. That's 8. 2 more. Back. Side. Ankle up. Oh, ankle down. Knee. That's 9. Last one. Back. Side. Ankle. Ankle. Knee. That's 10. Oh, man. The hip cars went on for forever today. Whew. Those are our hip cars. Our hip cars. That's the first warm-up exercise. We're moving on into warm-up exercise number 2. We're doing some elephant walks. I want you to fold at your hips. Bring your belly button down towards the ground. I'm going to scoop my butt a little this way so I'm actually in the frame. And we're going to breathe here for a second, all right? Inhale. Exhale. Let your belly button flop towards the floor. Relax. Add a little wiggle in your spine. Just let some muscles chill out. And we're going to move now, all right? We're going to bend one knee. We're going to straighten out the other leg. We're going to fold our belly buttons down towards the ground as low as we can. From here, we're going to switch. Boom. Other side. Boom. Other side. Again. And again. And again. And keep on going. Feel the stretch in your hamstrings. Feel them in both your hamstrings. And feel them shift from one leg to the other as you shift your straightened leg from one side to the other. There is not an exact number of these that we're going to do because I'm going to tell you about the rest of the show. And then when we're done with that, whenever that happens, we'll continue. All right. We're doing 45 to 60 minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility work. We do this every single day to practice consistency, to build a little bit of community, to make the suffering we're putting ourselves through a little bit more fun, a little bit more entertaining, and a little easier to stay consistent with. So, if you like hip mobility, if you know you need to be doing a little bit more of these types of movements, you'll want to work on something a little bit more advanced, maybe some side splits, then this is the show for you. And we also do this every day. Does not mean you have to show up every day. It means I'm going to be here every day, so you can hop on in whenever you feel like it, all right? We start at 9 p.m. Eastern, which means we started probably like 12 minutes ago. And if this thing runs any longer, it will be much longer than that. So I'm going to wrap it up there. Hit follow, hit subscribe, keep coming back. We are practicing consistency, hip mobility, side splits every single day of the week. And hopefully your hamstrings have relaxed a little bit. You folded a little bit more because we're going to fold a little bit deeper now. All right. I want you to focus on your belly button. I want you to bring it down towards the ground a little bit more. And down a little bit more. Fold forward. Remember, when I say belly button is coming down, it don't mean your head is coming down. All right. You can move your head without moving your belly button at all. What I care about is your belly button. Bring that down. And then we're going to keep going. 5 more, all right? Knee. Knee again on the other side. That's 4, 3, 2, 1. 0. All right, pop into a little bit of a squat. Come back up into standing. That is our second warm-up exercise. Hopefully your hamstrings are feeling a little bit looser, a little bit more chilled out, because that's the whole thing. We're moving on into our third warm-up exercise. It's called thoracic rotation. The first thing we're going to do is get back into the position we were just in. So this leg that was bent, once again, we're bending it. Other leg is straight. We're folding our belly button down towards the ground. We're taking the arm from the bent leg side. We're reaching across to that straight shin bone. We're pushing off the shin to help rotate our spine. Extend your arm up into the air. Rotate your neck to look at that hand. If you are not able to rotate as much as I'm demonstrating, you're only going a little bit, that's okay. What I want you to do is breathe and try your best to reach over your shoulder, all right? Inhale. Exhale, reach. Woo. That is half a rep. We got to do this side. Bent leg, straight leg. Bent arm, straight leg. Open, 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 open. Inhale. Exhale and reach. Woo, that is 1 rep. We're going to do 5 of these. Take your time. I talk fast. That does not mean you have to move fast, but do exhale. Let all the air out of your lungs before you rotate or while you're rotating. That will help you rotate a little bit more. All right, let's go. Bent leg, straight leg. Bent arm, straight leg. Open it up. Look at the hand. Inhale. Exhale, reach. Woo. Other side. Inhale. Exhale, reach. Woo. 3 more. Other side. Inhale. Exhale, reach. Other side. Inhale. Exhale, reach. Woo. That's 3. Keep going. Inhale. Exhale, reach. Woo. Other side. Inhale. Exhale, reach. Woo. 4 again. 5th and final time. Let's do it. Bent leg, straight leg. Bent arm, straight leg. Open it up. Look at the hand. Inhale. Exhale, reach. Woo. That's 5. Other side. Finish this off. Inhale. Exhale, reach. Woo. That is our thoracic rotation. For most of us, you're not getting that much movement through the spine, so hopefully you got a little bit just now. And now your spine is feeling a little bit looser. You're able to move and wiggle and shake and body roll and have some fun with it. All right, we're gonna move on into our 4th warm-up exercise. It's called the Cossack switch. It looks a little bit like this. We're gonna open up our legs a little bit. We're gonna try and drop into a squat on one leg and see how low we can go. If you're able to get really low, great. If you're not, you're stuck somewhere in the middle. That's absolutely fine. Our next step is to move our butts that way, to make this position mirrored on the other side. So if you're a little bit higher up and you're like, boom, you got to the other side, perfect. If you're maybe a little lower down and you're like, there's no way I'm going boom and getting over there, I'm not moving at all, you can try to put your hands down on the ground, give yourself a little bit of support as you walk yourself over to the other side. Once you've arrived on the other side, I want you to take a big breath in, inhale. I want you to exhale. And while you exhale, I want you to try to sink down a little bit deeper into that stretched position, however it may look. All right? And then we're going to come back to the other side. Put your hands down if you need them. Come on back. That is 1 rep. If you're somewhere in the middle and you're like, I am not so low that I can reach the ground, but I'm not so high that it's super easy, you can also grab an ottoman, grab a coffee table, even hold on to the wall a little bit, facing the wall, to help bring yourself across. All right? We're going to do 10 of those, and then we'll be done with our warm-ups. In those 10, I'm going to give you a whole bunch of variations that you can try. Some of them are going to make things a lot harder. Some things are going to make things a lot easier. Do your best. Try whatever you want to try. If it doesn't work out for you, go try an easier version or try what you just finished. All right? Let's go. Come on down. We're moving that way. Hands down. Whee! Come on over to the other side. Boom. Breathe. Come on back. That's 2. If you realize you don't really need your hands, you got enough balance, you got enough strength, feel free to continue without your hands. You might be able to do that from a little bit higher up, even. All right? Keep on coming back. That's 4. If you're looking for something a little bit more challenging, no matter what position, how high you are, you can always try to sit up a little straighter, a little taller, lift your chest, point your head into the ceiling, extend your arms in front of you, and keep on going. Whew. From side to side. This should work for everybody, no matter how low in your bottom position you're getting. Whew. So you can try this at any time. All right. Once you've done this a couple of times, I think we're at 6, right? Kind of, maybe. I didn't keep count. Once you've done about 6, your knees might be telling you it's time to ease up a little bit. That's what we're going to do next. If you come up a little bit, then slide on across and then sink on down. We get all the benefit of that deep stretch at the bottom without the pressure on the knee as you come over from side to side. So come on up a little bit, slide on over, and come on back down. That's 7. Let's do it again. Up, across, and down. And up, across, and down. That's 8. You can do a variation of this no matter what level you're at. If you are here and coming across was achy for your knees, you can always come up a little bit higher. If you're down here, coming up would look more like what I was just doing. All right, we've done 8. We got 2 more. If you're interested, we're going to do some squats. We're going to squat off this one leg. We're going to come back into standing. If you don't like this, you don't like where this is going, you can stick with whatever already worked so far. All right, we're going to inhale. Exhale and push. Back into standing. Whew, that's 9. Slowly come down on the other side. Inhale. Exhale, relax. Sink on down into your stretch. Inhale. Exhale, push. That's 9. We got 1 more. Let's go. Inhale. Relax. Inhale. Exhale. Sink on down into your stretched out position. Inhale. Exhale, push. That is 10 of the leg. We're almost done. Inhale. Exhale. Relax. Try to come down with control. And inhale. Exhale. Push. That is 10 reps of Cossack switches, Cossack slidey things, and a handful of Cossack squats to wrap on up. Hopefully your ankles, your knees, your hips are feeling it. They're a little bit more warmed up because that was the goal. That was the point of our warm up. All right. We're moving on into our stretches now. We got 5 stretches. If you're just joining in for the first time and you don't know, we're doing 45 to 60 minutes of live side splits and hip mobility work. We do this every single day to practice consistency, and we do this every day. So you should keep coming back. Cool. All right. We're gonna move on into our first stretch. This is a hamstring stretch. I want you to go grab a little bit of padding for your knee. I'm gonna steal this piece. Boom. The purpose of this padding is just to give you a little bit of padding, obviously, because I just said the word padding like 6 times in 3 sentences. It doesn't have to be fancy gym flooring. If you have an old flip-flop, old sneakers that's got a little bit of cushioning, maybe it's mismatched, doesn't matter. Stick one under your knee and we're ready to go. If you have some dirty laundry that you've been kind of ignoring, you're like, I'll do laundry soon. Take something, roll it up, maybe preferably not a white t-shirt, maybe like a black t-shirt, roll it up, stick it under your knee, and boom, we got some cushioning, we got some padding. Does not have to be fancy. If you got regular standard things like couch cushions, pillows, and stuff like that, that works great. All right, let's continue. We're going to kneel on your cushioning for a moment, and I want you to flex your glutes. I want you to flex your abs. I want you to kneel up nice and tall for just 1 more second, and then we're going to extend one leg out in front. This is going to be a hamstring stretch, so we're going to do something like this. Whee! Until your hamstrings kick in. All right. What I want you to do from this position is maintain a nice straight back. Try not to do this with your front leg. We're not trying to do front splits right now. We're trying to focus on the hamstring stretch. So keep your hips very forward facing. Don't let them rotate. Don't let them twist. All right. And we're ready to fold. Let's get into that hamstring stretch. Inhale. Exhale and fold that belly button down to your thigh. Fold. Whee! As soon as your hamstrings are telling you no more, we're not doing this today, feel free to pause right there and relax. Breathe in. Exhale, relax. Let your body flop into the ground. And let's do it again. Inhale. Exhale, relax. That is 2. Let's do it again. Inhale. Exhale, relax. That is 3. Ooh, feel that stretch in your hamstrings. Now we're going to add some movement. I want you to bring your knee up like so into a lunge looking pose. And then I want you to try your best to fold your upper body down towards your thigh. All right, so that your chest is touching your leg, your whole entire leg. If you're not quite there, you're a little bit higher up. It's okay. Just try your best. All right. From here, we're going to take our hands. We're going to put them down on the ground for some balance support. And we're going to slowly extend that leg. We're going to straighten it back out. But we're going to try and keep our upper body, this folded angle, as close to the leg as we can. So we get that stretch right back. All right. That's one. We're going to do this 5 times. Don't hate me. Let's go. Knee up. Chest down. Straighten it out. That's 2. Knee up. Chest down. Straighten it out. 3. Knee up. Chest down. Straighten it out. 4. Last one. Knee up. Chest down. Straighten it out. And that is 5 times. Once you've done a bunch of those, we're going to get ready to fold. We're going to inhale, exhale, fold. I just got a low battery warning over on one of my phones, and I realized I forgot to charge it, but hopefully it will not run out of battery. We'll see how that goes. Next, we are folding. Inhale, exhale, fold. Big breath in. Inhale. Slowly exhale and fold your belly button down towards your leg. Fold, 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 fold. Exhale, 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 exhale. Fold, fold, fold. That is our first stretch. As soon as your hamstrings are telling you, no, stop it, feel free to inhale, relax. Let's go. Inhale. Exhale, relax. That is 1. Let's do it again. Inhale. Exhale, relax. That is 2. Again, inhale. Exhale, relax. That is 3. Let's go. Knee up. Chest down. Straighten it out. That's 1. Knee up. Chest down. Straighten it out. That's 2. Knee up. Chest down. Straighten it out. That's 3. Again. Knee up. Chest down. Straighten it out. That's 4. Let's go. Last one. Knee up. Chest down. Straighten it out. Feel that hamstring stretch. Let's get ready to fold. All right. Inhale, exhale, fold. We're going to take a big breath into our lungs. We're going to slowly exhale all that air out. And we're going to fold our belly button down towards the leg, down towards the ground while we exhale. So exhale and fold at the same time. Ready? Let's go. Big breath in. Inhale. Exhale and fold. Belly button down to the floor. That is our second time folding. So I think it's time for us to wrap this up with some more inhale relaxation. Inhale. Exhale, relax. Let your body flop into the ground again. Inhale. Exhale, relax. Let your body flop again. Inhale, relax. That is 3 times. Knee up. Chest down. Straighten it out again. Knee. Chest. Straighten it out. Knee. Chest. Straighten it out. That's 3. Knee. Chest. Straighten it out. And knee. Chest. Straighten it out. That's 5. We're hanging out here in this position for 30 seconds, and that is it. That is the end of this stretch. All right, 30, 29, 28, 27. Keep breathing. Don't hold your breath. If you want to do the inhale, relax thing where we just breathe in and then let the body flop to the floor, that is great. Do that. 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14. Keep breathing. Don't hold your breath. Keep on trying to fold that belly button down towards the leg if you can. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That is our stretch. If my version looked absolutely crazy, it's because I've been doing this every day for like hundreds of days. There's at least almost a year of live recordings. All right. So at least 300 plus days, maybe 400 days at this point. So don't compare yours to mine. Remember, the instructions are about folding forward. The instructions are bringing your belly button down towards the ground. Wherever you get to is great. Cool? All right. Let's switch to the other side. Bring that leg in. Set your knee in again. Flex your glutes. Flex your abs. Make sure these sets of muscles, these big, strong groups of muscles are awake. They're doing their job, helping you sit, or I guess kneel upright and do Superman poses. And now we're going to continue on the other side. Let's go. Stick that leg straight out. Fold. Bring that belly button down. Inhale. Exhale and fold. As soon as your hamstrings are telling you no more, we're going to inhale, relax. Inhale. Exhale, relax. Let your body flop into the ground. It's the first time you're doing this leg, so it's going to feel very different from the other leg. Don't worry about that. Inhale. Exhale, relax. That is 2. Let's do it again. Inhale. Exhale, relax. That is 3. Knee up, chest down. Straighten it out. Ooh, feel that stretch in the hamstrings. Knee up, chest down. Straighten it out. Oh, that's 2. Knee. Chest. Straighten. That's 3. Again, knee. Chest. Straighten. That's 4. Last one, knee. Chest. Straighten. That's 5. Now, it's time to fold again. Inhale, exhale, fold. Big breath in. Slowly exhale. Focus on bringing the belly button down to the ground. Inhale, exhale, and fold at the same time. All right? Big breath in. Inhale. Exhale and fold, fold, fold. Belly button down. Woo! Inhale, relax. Let your belly button flop into the ground. Let your body flop into the leg. Inhale. Exhale, relax. That is 2. Let's do it again. Inhale. Exhale, relax. That is 3. Knee up, chest down. Straighten it out. Ooh, that's 1. Knee, chest, straighten. That's 2. If your back is bending right now because it's relaxed, there's like no tension on it, that's probably fine. If your back is bending right now because you're absolutely trying to smash your face into the ground at every moment and you're trying really hard, your neck is tense, your back is tense, your mid back is tense, everything is tense, you're working too hard. Relax. Knee up, chest down, straighten it out. And I think that's 5. So let's fold again. Last fold. Inhale, exhale, fold. Y'all ready? Let's do this. Big breath in. Inhale. Slowly exhale and fold, fold, fold. Belly button down. Fold, exhale, fold. Woo. Feel that stretch in your hamstrings. Inhale, relax. Let your belly button flop to the floor. Let your body flop. Inhale. Exhale, relax. Sink a little bit deeper. Let's do it again. Inhale. Exhale, relax. That is 3. Knee up, chest down. Straighten it out. Ooh, that's 1. Knee up, chest down. Straighten it out. Ooh, that's 2. Knee up, chest down. Straighten it out. That's 3 again. Knee up, chest down. Straighten it out. That's 4. Knee up, chest down. Straighten it out. That's 5. We're going to hang out here for 30 seconds, and that's the end of our stretch. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27. If your knees are feeling a little achy, by the way, that is completely normal. Well, I mean, if you have achy knees at any point and you're feeling them now when you're stretching, that is completely normal. To make the pressure on the knee a little bit gentler, you can give it a slight bend. When you bend the knee, the hamstring stretch will become a little less intense, but you can always fold forward a little bit more to compensate for that. All right? 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That is our hamstring stretch. Bring your legs in underneath you. Whew. Catch your breath. And come back into that kneeling position that we were in before. Flex your glutes like somebody's about to spank you. Go, protect your butt. Flex your abs like somebody's about to punch you. Protect your abs. Flex both sets of muscles at the same time if you can. And once your big stabilizing muscles across your core and your glutes are woken up, we're ready to move on into our second stretch. We're going to do some butterfly. All right. You can get rid of the cushioning. You don't need it anymore. Get rid of the flip flop. Throw it at your kids if they've been doing something naughty while you were stretching. Chancla attacks. All right. Let's continue with our butterfly stretch. I want you to bring your butt, your low back, your shoulders, your head up against the wall. All right. Once you're here, we're going to grab our feet. We're going to bring them in towards our groin, towards our inner thighs, and we're in our starting position. The goal of this stretch is to stretch out these inner thigh muscles. All right. The way we do that is actually by pushing the knees down into the ground. I want you to be strong. I want you to have control over your muscles so you can go do cool things. So I want you to use your own muscles. Contract your glutes, contract your outer thighs. I want you to pull your knees down into the ground using your own muscle power. All right? And see if you can push the knees a little closer to the ground. The main thing that I want you to be feeling right now is the inner thighs, this chunk of your thighs, feeling a little bit more intense of a stretch. Cool? Next, we're going to take our hands. We're going to apply a little bit of pressure just inside the knee a little bit, and we're going to keep on applying that pressure throughout the duration of our stretch. For the next 30 seconds, I want you to slowly breathe in and out. And while you're breathing out, I want you to try to push your legs down a little bit harder, a little bit harder, a little bit harder, a little bit harder as you exhale. If you feel a sharp, intense sensation, is like, oh, that is a really good reason to stop pushing. All right. But if you're just feeling a regular, standard, stretchy discomfort, that's probably just stretching. I am warning you, not because I think it's going to happen, but just in case that it does, you don't confuse stretching discomfort with pain. All right. Those are two different things. If it feels crazy, that's probably pain. Cut that out. If it feels just like it's really uncomfortable, that's probably stretching. All right. Let's go. Hands down. Breathe. Inhale. Exhale. Push a little harder. How many seconds do you think we're in? 25? Let's go. 24. Inhale. 22. 21. Exhale. 17. 16. 15. Inhale. 13. 12. Exhale. Push. 10. 9. 5. Inhale. Exhale. Last little round. 3. 2. 1. 0. I feel like every time I do the counting while not counting because I'm breathing thing, it sounds so messy. If you don't like it this way, I'll change up my breathing and I'll count a little bit more consistently instead of going. But anyways, hopefully you're able to push your legs down into the ground a little deeper. You found some new range of motion you didn't think you were capable of. You kept on applying a little bit extra pressure every time you exhaled, and hopefully you found yourself a little bit deeper. All right. The same thing that we were just doing while applying pressure and exhaling was very, very similar to what we were doing when we were doing the inhale, exhale, and fold in the previous stretch. All right. So it's the same general principle. When you exhale, you tend to have a little bit more floppy, relaxy vibes, and maybe you can go access some of that when you're applying some extra force down into the stretch. Cool? All right. Shake out your wrists, shake out your legs. That is our butterfly. Take a second, relax, and we're going to move on into our third stretch. We're doing some standing pancake. The standing pancake looks a little bit like this. We're opening up the legs, then we're folding at the hips. We're going like this. Boom. Pancake, or, the start of a pancake. From the side, it will look a little bit like this. You might be a little closer to this, or maybe even a little higher up like this. That's completely normal. The goal of this stretch is to fold your entire upper body down in between your legs. I'm going to tell you right now, I cannot do it, so I'm just kind of demonstrating the direction that we're moving. The goal is to keep the back relatively straight. When you get towards the end, you'll have to bend a little bit, but for the most part, for most of it, try to keep your back as straight as possible. All right? The reason why we're doing the standing pancake versus another variation is because for most of us, when we're standing, our upper bodies are going to be pretty close to the right position for gravity to give us a lot of help. When your upper body is horizontal, gravity is helping you out the most and pulling you down into the ground. If you want more help from gravity, extend your arms so that your biceps are by your ears, or do that and hold something in your hands, and gravity will feel even crazier. All right, that's it. That is our forward fold. If you want, you can open up your legs a little bit wider. That will change the stretch. You'll feel it more in your inner thighs and not just in your hamstrings. That is up to you, how hard you want to push yourself. All right? Let's sink into it. Let's fold forward and bring that belly button down. Fold your head in between your legs. 30 seconds. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, put your hands down. Come on out of that stretch. If that felt crazy, that's because this is a crazy stretch. Bring your feet together if they're not super close already. Wiggle your toes, your heels, your toes, your heels in towards the center of your body to bring your legs together. Slowly walk your hands up your thighs so that you come back into standing. That is our third stretch, the standing pancake. You probably felt it a lot in your hamstrings, maybe even in the low back because of that forward fold that we've been working on. But you probably also felt it a ton in the inner thighs, depending on how wide you brought your legs. That is our third stretch. That's a standing pancake. We want you to eventually get your legs further and further apart, but you don't have to do that today. You don't have to do that tomorrow. You can slowly build into it over time. Cool? We're going to move on into our fourth stretch. Yesterday, I'm pretty sure we did the pigeon, so today is time for the figure four. Both stretches have the same fundamentals. I just happen to explain one per day. Today is figure four day. They both look a little bit like this. We're taking one leg, we're crossing it over to the other side, making this triangle with our legs. We're bringing this leg up towards our belly button, and we're bringing our belly button down towards our leg so that we're folding kind of in this sort of position. You're going to feel a stretch here in the side of your hip. This is a glute muscle. You're going to feel a stretch here in your hamstrings, and you're going to feel a little bit of something here at the hip where you're actually doing the folding, all right? The figure four is done on the floor. We get to lay down. Congratulations. You get to relax for a second. Lay down. Ah. And when you've had a second to catch your breath, let's get ready to go. We're taking one leg. We're crossing it over to the other side. We're making that triangle, right? We are grabbing our hands. We're putting one through the triangle, one around the outside, and we're pulling that whole leg in towards us. When we're laying down on our backs, we grab and pull our knees in because that's a little bit easier. And that's it. This is the basics of our stretch. We're going to breathe and we're going to pull ourselves into a slightly deeper stretch before we count out 30 seconds, all right? I want you to inhale. I want you to exhale, and I want you to pull that leg in. Exhale. Lean back. Pull that leg in a little bit. Let's do it again. Inhale. Exhale, pull that leg in. That's two. Let's do it again. Inhale. Exhale and pull that leg in. That is three. With those 3 rounds of pulling, you should be feeling a little bit of tension in the side of your hip, in that glute muscle. That is what we want. If your knees, this knee right here, is feeling a little bit of sensitivity because you're pushing and applying pressure here on your ankle, and it's torquing your knee, torquing, not twerking, torquing your knee, then you can cup the knee. You can stick the knee maybe in your elbow pit, and you can pull the whole thing towards your chest, right? That's it. That's the next 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27. I know this is real chill. You're laying down. Maybe your eyes are closed, but keep pulling that leg towards your chest. Feel that stretch in your leg, in your glutes, in your hips. And 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Let everything relax. Unfold yourself. Let your body flop into the floor and take a breath. Inhale. Exhale. All right, let's switch to the side. Other leg crossed on over, making this nice triangle. Stick one hand through the triangle, other hand around the outside. Grab your knee and pull it in towards you. Feel that stretch building in your glutes, in your hamstrings. Inhale. Exhale. Pull. Again, inhale. Exhale. Pull. That's 2. Third time, inhale. Exhale, pull. I'm just making sounds for funsies. It's not real. But Inhale, exhale, pull. That is a whole bunch of setup. Let's grab that knee for protection if you need it. Pull it in. Keep on breathing. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26. Remember, the goal is to relax. A whole bunch of your body is going to be contracting real hard, trying to bring your leg in towards your chest. But I want you to breathe. I want you to relax when you can. All right? 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14. Make some fun noises if that is less distracting or more distracting from the pain of the stretch. That's good. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. I was kind of joking about the pain of the stretch. I said pain from the stretch, pain of the stretch. It should not be painful. It should not be a sharp, intense sensation. If it's uncomfortable because you're stretching out your muscles, that's okay. All right. There's a distinct difference between the mild restretching again versus a sharp, intense. Somebody just poked me really hard type of pain. All right. Those are two different things. So when I joke around and I say suffering, when I joke around and I say pain, I'm talking about the discomfort of stretching. I'm not talking about like, ow, something hurts and it's suddenly really painful. That's not the same thing. Those are two different things. Cool. All right. Now that we've covered that, it's time to move on into our fifth and final stretch. We are moving on into some side splits. If you have never been on this show before, then we're going to break it down into lots of small pieces, so don't you worry. If you have also never been on this show, then I want you to know that we do this every single day for about 45 to 65-ish minutes. And we do this every day to practice a little bit of consistency, which helps you make some progress, all right? So, if that sounds interesting, if you like side splits, if you like hip mobility, you want to work on something with some consistency, have some people on the internet help you with that because they're here all the time, then make sure to hit follow, hit subscribe, whatever platform you're on, and I'll see you soon. All right? Because we're here every single day. We're not done yet, though, so don't leave. That was just my reminder before we get into the hard stuff. Cool? All right. I need you to go grab some stuff. If you're regular, you already know. If you're new, this is a piece of hand support. It's a stool, but we're using it to support our hands. The purpose of this stool is to help us do this. Take some of the burden off of our legs, put it into our arms, into our shoulders when we do our side splits. All right. The goal of this item of your choosing is to have it be lightweight enough that you can kind of move it out of the way when it needs to be in front of you. It's in front of you. When you're like, stop, I need to get out of the stretch, you can toss it off to the side. We want it also to be strong enough to support most of your weight. Maybe you don't actually need to be able to stand on it because you're never actually putting that much weight into it because your legs hypothetically are down. We're not doing handstands on our hand support. And those are it. Those are the two main things that we care about. If you absolutely have to, you can grab something a little bit heavier. If you have a coffee table, an ottoman, something a little less mobile, but you can kind of like slide it a little bit, that will be fine. If you have something that's really tall, that will also be okay. If you have a kitchen chair, for example, and you're like, but it's this high, what do I do with it? You can always come onto your forearms and get a little lower. Cool? All right, so hopefully, now that you have heard way too much about hand supports, we're ready to begin. I want you to take your hand support. I want you to bring your body back to the wall. I want you to rest your butt up against the wall. And I want you to open up your legs just a little bit. Your heels do not have to be against the wall, but your butt, I want your butt against the wall. All right? From here, I want you to fold. Whee! Put your hands on your hand support. Let your legs go a little bit wider. What we're going to do next is called thoracic, sorry, not thoracic, excuse me, external rotation of this leg. We're going to rotate this leg backwards 90 degrees so that our heels are down, our toes are up, our knees are pointing up. All right, our inner thighs are pointing forward. We're going to do the same on the other side. Boom, heels are down, toes are up, knees are pointing up. This is where your hand support is going to be very, very useful. When all of your weight is on your heels, it's going to be very uncomfortable. So I want you to have your hands on your hand support. I want you to have your butt resting against the wall so that some of the burden is taken off of your heels. All right. When you get into this position, I want you to let your butt slide down the wall. I want you to slowly come on down towards the ground. I want you to basically pull your hand support towards your groin so that you're pinching yourself between your hand support and the wall. That way, you can support yourself as much as you possibly can, and your legs aren't suffering the whole entire weight of your body. Congratulations. We're ready to go into some relaxation. The goal here is to be chilling, to be comfortable-ish, to not feel like you're about to topple over, and not feel like you're about to slip, not have your muscles be firing super hard right now because they're like, oh my God, if he slips, I'm gonna break a bone. We don't want that kind of fear, all right? We want you to find a position where you are in maybe not perfectly comfortable, but like you don't feel like you're about to fall. Cool? We're there? We good? All right, let's breathe. Inhale. Exhale, relax. Let the air out of your lungs and hopefully let some tension out of your legs and see if you can slip a little deeper into your stretch. If you actually did slip quite a bit further into your stretch and you have slipped into a position where you no longer feel like you're in control, maybe your feet slid forward too much, now you're off balance, take a second, adjust, tweak it, find a comfortable spot again where you feel like you're in control, and we're going to breathe again. Inhale, hold, exhale, relax. Sink a little deeper into your stretch. Let's do it again. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Relax. Sink a little deeper into your stretch if you can. All right. If you're not sinking, that's okay. Just try your best. Don't worry about it. All right. Next, it's time for us to do some optional wiggles. A little wiggle to the right, a little wiggle to the left. Push your heels out a little further. See if you can make a little bit of movement. And if you can, then great. If you can't, don't worry about it. We are in our position for side split number one. Right now, our toes are pointing up, our knees are pointing up, the top of our heads are pointing up. We're going to hang out here for 30 seconds, and that's it. 30, 29, 28, 27. Keep breathing. Don't hold your breath. You can try to adjust a little bit, wiggle, see if you can support yourself in different ways. If you're close enough to the ground, maybe you can get rid of the hand support. If you're not close enough to the ground or your fingers are tired or something, you might want to try to put your elbows down on your hand support to just change up the pressure. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That is our stretch. This is where having a light hand support is awesome. Throw it out of the way. Get it out of here. Walk your hands forward a little bit. See if you can bring your legs in underneath you. Slowly with control. Don't be explosive in this movement because that will probably not be very enjoyable or pleasant for your hips. All right? Once your legs are together, kneel, squat, sit, chill for a little bit, and catch your breath. That was awesome and also awful because it was really intense, right? We're going to move on into side split number two. But before we do that, we're going to come back into standing. We're going to shake out the tension in our legs. I am going to take a quick look. We have how much percent battery? We have 10% battery on one phone. That should be enough to finish. Let's do this. What we're going to do is shake out our legs. Take your ankles, flop them around, give them a nice gentle wiggle. If you need to, hold on to the wall for a little bit of support, a little bit of balance, and otherwise, shake, 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 wiggle, 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 flop, 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 shake out your legs. All right? Drop that ankle to the floor. If it's feeling okay, we're ready to move on to the other one. Shake, 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 wiggle, 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 flop, 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 flop. What we're doing right now is using a visual test, and I guess a sensational test, because you can sense that your leg is shaking all over the place, to make sure that you know your leg muscles are relaxing. All right. If your leg muscles are really tense, you would sort of be like this, right? It'd be one solid piece, not moving very well. But when your muscles are relaxed, it's gonna be floppy, it's gonna be chilling, it's gonna be swinging all over the place, and that is what we want. We want relaxation. All right. Once your ankles and your calves are mostly shaken out, we're gonna move on into our hips. I want you to put all of your weight into one leg, big toe down on the other side. There is almost no weight on this big toe. And from here, we're going to rotate this leg in so that the knees are basically touching. We're going to rotate that leg out so that this knee is pointing way far that away. And we're going to keep on doing that a couple of times. This is more rotation in the hip. This is a hip mobility show. So if you're wondering why we're doing so much hip mobility stuff, that is because this is a hip mobility show. And we're doing a little bit more right now, even at the end. When you have practiced using your muscles, your control, your strength to do this motion, and you're feeling pretty good about it, you can go a little faster. In and out and 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 in and out. All right. Shake out the leg. Let's switch over to the other side. All your weight is in one leg. Big toe is down. Start with control. In and out and in and out. The only thing that's moving, by the way, is this thigh bone where it connects to your hip. All right. Everything else is completely optional and is not actually that important. I make a lot of big gestures because it's fun and entertaining, and I go in and out. You don't actually have to be that crazy with it. All right. In and out and 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 in and out. Woo. Shake out your legs. Shake them both out. Shake out some more. We're probably ready for side split number 2. I went through the instructions with a little bit extra detail the first go around. I'm gonna go a little faster this time around. If it's too fast, let me know in the chat and I'll fix it for next time because I'm too far away to be able to read the chat right now. So let's go. Butt up against the wall. Open up the legs a little bit. Let's fold hands on your hand support. Legs are coming a little bit wider. We're rotating legs. Heels are down. Toes are up. Knees are pointing up. Heels are down. Toes are up. Knees are pointing up. Hands on your hand support. Butt against the wall. Slowly let your butt slide down the wall. Adjust your hand support. Pull it towards your legs so that you're squishing yourself in between your hand support and the wall. That way your legs are taking on a little less burden. Find a comfortable spot where you feel like you're in control, where you're not super tense, where your muscles aren't tensing really hard and going, and you can actually breathe. And now let's breathe. Inhale. Exhale, relax. That's one. Inhale. Exhale, relax. That's 2. Inhale. Exhale, relax. That is 3. Optional wiggles, a little to the right, a little to the left, a little to the right, a little to the left. If you can push your heels out a little bit, great, do it. If you can't, don't worry about it. We are ready for side split number 2. What I want you to do this time, instead of having your toes pointing up and your knees pointing up, I want you to lean forward a little bit so that your knees and toes are kind of pointing at a 45-degree, pointing forward in front of you. That's going to put an emphasis on your inner thigh muscles. It's going to change up the stretch so that you're feeling it here. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25. You can do this version of the stretch with your hands on the ground. You can do a version of the stretch with your hands on your hand support. If at any point you feel like it's not intense enough for you, you can always bend your elbows. When you bend your elbows, it's going to put more weight into your legs and it's going to make everything feel a little crazier. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10. Keep breathing. Don't hold your breath. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That is our second side split. Move your hand support out of the way. Walk your hands forward just a little bit. Crawl so you give your legs a little bit more room. Bring them in underneath you. And that is our second side split. Woo! Done. Take a second to rest, chill. And when you've caught your breath, let's come back into standing. Let's shake it out. Shake, 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 shake. Remember, hold on to something for balance. Otherwise, shakety, shake, shake, shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Flop, 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 flop. Focus on making sure your ankles and all the muscles around your ankles are relaxed and floppy and loose. And take a step. Get ready to do this leg. Shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Flop, 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 flop. And now we are done shaking out our legs. Take a couple of quick steps. Make sure your legs are working okay. Do some salsa steps, bachata steps. Just have some fun with your legs. And let's get ready to move on into our hips. I did not do any salsa or bachata steps in those moves, all right? That was not those things. Don't misunderstand. I just suggested those things. Those are not those things. All right. All your weight is in one leg. Big toe is down. We're opening and closing. We're bringing the knee in and knee out. Ready? Knee in, knee out, knee in, knee out, knee in, knee out, knee in and out and in and out and in and out and in and out. Whew. All right, other side. All your weight in one leg, almost no weight in this leg. It can come up at any time. If you lean a little too far, sometimes it's okay. Just lean back. All right, knee in, knee out, knee in and out and 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 in and out. Okay, that's probably good. Should get your legs one last time. Give everything a little gentle shake, a little wobble, a little wiggle. Relax the body. And let's get ready for our third and final side split. All right? Hands. Hands. What am I saying? Hand support. Bring it in front of you. Butt to the wall. Legs a little bit wider. And let's fold. Whee! Hands on your hand support. Legs going a little bit wider. Let's get ready to rotate. Heels are down. Toes are up. Knees are pointing up. We do this, by the way, to rotate part of our thigh bone, a lumpy part of our thigh bone out of the way so it doesn't smash into our hips. I forgot to explain that the first go around. But once you have done that and you let your butt slowly slide down the wall into a comfortable position where you're basically in control, you're mostly in balance and not slipping all over the place, we're ready to breathe. Inhale. Hold that breath. Exhale, relax. See if you can sink a little deeper into your stretch. Let's do it again. Inhale. Hold. Exhale, relax. See if you can sink a little deeper into that stretch. Let's do it again. Third time. Inhale. Hold. Exhale, relax. See if you can sink a little tiny bit deeper into your stretch. Optional wiggles. Push to the right, push to the left, push to the right, push to the left, push to the right, push to the left, push to the right, push to the left. When you're ready, it's time for side split number 3. You got options. You can do side split number 1, where your toes and your knees are pointing straight up. You can do side split number 2, where you're leaning forward a little bit more. You're feeling it more in your inner thighs. Pick whichever one you like. I'm going to do a variation of side split number 2, and let's get ready to go. I'm going to do 40 seconds. It's up to you how long you want to hang out for. 40, 39, 38, 37, 36, 35, 34, 33, 32, 31, 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14. Keep breathing. Don't hold your breath. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right. Hands down. Crawl forward a little bit. Take your time with it. Bring your legs in underneath you. That is our third and final side split. That's done. And if you're ready, let's come back into standing. Let's shake it out one last time. Stand. If you're waddling around like a drunk penguin right now, that's okay. I am too. Hold on to something for balance and let's shake it out. Shake out those ankles. Remember, the goal is relaxation. It's to let the tension leave the body. And we're starting because it's very easy to see when your ankles are flopping around all over the place when your muscles are relaxed, right? But the goal is to relax your whole body as much of it as you can. Primarily the legs, because we're doing side splits, but everywhere, across your whole entire body. I want you to imagine you are a soggy, overcooked noodle, piece of spaghetti that's been soaking in the pot. You already finished eating dinner. You already watched a movie after dinner. You're doing the dishes now, and then you're like, oh, look at that giant, super soggy, overcooked noodle flow down the drain. It's going as it flows out of the pot, down the drain, into the thingy, and it swirls a bunch and all that crazy stuff. That's what I want your body to look like. I want you to be like, and flowing. All right? If you can't do that, don't worry about it. Just keep on shaking, relaxing, wiggling, and over time, you'll get better and better and better at relaxing your muscles because your brain will figure out what you're trying to do eventually. All right? We're going to move on into our hips. All of your weight, I want you to put in one leg. Your other leg, I want you to have the big foot, big toe down. I want you to bring it in and out, and 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 in and out. Whew. All right, other side. One leg down, big toe on the other side down, in and out, and 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 in and out. And that's probably fine. Shake out your legs one last time. We're gonna move on into our hip circles and then our calf raises. Those are our two final moves to check our joints, and then we'll be done. All right, hip cars. Sorry, what am I talking about? Hip circles. Shouting the wrong thing. Slowly lean your hips into their maximum and range of motion. And slowly come around. And grunt and groan, make as many sound effects as you need to, obviously. As you come around, make sure to double check, triple check for anything that feels extra tender. Feels like it needs some extra attention. If you find a spot that feels like, that's not so pleasant, hang out there for a little bit. Suffer a little bit more. Enjoy that suffering, and then you can continue. All right? I tend to feel a whole bunch of tension on the left and right side of the hips after the side splits. And I'm definitely feeling that today. Some days is more than others. Some days, I guess, inversely, it's less than others because I just said the same sentence twice with different words. Once you're done a bunch in one direction, come on back the other way around. And again, remember to breathe. Remember, this is to help stretch out your muscles, not to stress you out. And once you've done a whole bunch of those, your hips are starting to feel a little bit looser. We're going to move on into some calf raises. All right? Our calf raises are a little bit crazy. If you're a regular, you already know. But otherwise, we are opening up our legs about hips width apart. All right? Not super wide, not super narrow, about hips width apart. We're going to pop into a little bit of a squat, and we're going to lean our chests forward like so. We're going to push our knees forward so that we feel a stretch in the Achilles tendon and some pressure in the calves. All right. When you're leaning this far forward, both from the knees and from the upper body, you're going to feel a huge amount of tension starting to kick in your toes. Your toes are literally the only thing fighting to keep you from falling forward onto your face. So your feet should be kicking on right now. From here, we're going to do some calf raises. Put your hands down on the ground if you can. If you cannot, use your hand support from earlier for a little bit of support. If that's not enough, you can do this leaning into the wall so your hands are holding onto the wall, and we're ready to begin. I want you to do some calf raises. Knees forward, up, and down. Reset, push those knees forward, feel that stretch in the Achilles tendon, up and down. If you lost balance and you slipped backwards just like I did, don't worry about it. Just keep going. Lean forward, reset those knees up and down. That's 3. Again, up and down, and up, and down, and up, and down. We're balancing our weight between our big toe and our index toe. That is going to help the ankles go straight up, the heel go straight up and down. And I'll demonstrate that in a sec while I'm facing. If you try to spread the burden across your whole entire foot, it's highly likely your legs will go out to the side. We don't want that. We want your knees to go straight up and down. So if you center your weight between your big toe and your index toe, it should go a little bit more up and down. All right? When your calves, your quads, your low back, any part of your body is telling you this is over, we're done, no more of this, feel free to wrap it up. All right? What we just did was some crazy calf raises that challenged our low back, our quads, our calves, our Achilles tendon, our feet, all at the same time. All right? And if you're able to do like 75, 80% of that thing, then chances are you're pretty good to go back to whatever else you got to do for the rest of the day. All right? Thank you so much, everyone, for coming in, practicing a little bit of consistency, working on your side splits, working on your hip mobility. I appreciate y'all very much. I just saw that my YouTube phone has 2% battery, so I'm going to throw a battery pack on it right now and hope it doesn't die. And in the meantime, I'm going to... the YouTube phone is not coming off. There we go. Boom. Hopefully, that will stay. More or less. Okay. Whew. Do I have anything else to tell you? Most of the content that I make is around trying to make fitness a little bit more fun. I try to, on the live, make sound effects when we're struggling. I try to crack jokes when I can think of something. Otherwise, I'm also struggling with you guys. So, sometimes I just can't think of anything. I'm just talking. And then other times I'm thinking so fast that words melt into giant blobs of words and I start combining things. And you'll know when that happens, when I'm trying to make up something new, because I don't have enough face muscle memory to say the words properly. Cat says, thanks and see you tomorrow. See you, Cat. Book says, see you tomorrow. Malky says, I had to gaslight myself today into saying I would stop after the next stretch. Hey, if that works for you and that it works for you, then sometimes that's just a really good tool. right? Sometimes you have to manipulate yourself into doing the things that you don't actually want to do. And if you know how to manipulate yourself into doing it, like, is it really manipulation or is it just, something useful? So you called it gaslighting, but it could just be something really useful that you've now learned how to do better than before. And that's great. Because doing hard things is really hard, right? Everybody would love to be able to do more hard things. You figured it out. Now I'm definitely not gaslighting. All right, you mastered a skill. Cool. Let's scroll. Buddha says, I missed the time travel skip count. Oh, okay, so you do like the time travel skip count. Good. That's helpful. Adrian says, very helpful. Amazing. In Pursuit of Simplicity says, thank you. Adrian says, thank you, Ken. Buddha says, thanks for talking and making our self-torture feel shorter. Good. I'm glad you feel that way. Um, yeah, when it jumps to 20 seconds, it's really nice. When it stays 25, 24, 23, does not feel nice. I'm I'm glad you agree. There's a slight con though, because sometimes when I start talking, it is impossible to know if I'm counting at the right pace. I have gotten the suggestion to get some clocks on, the screen, but at the end of the day, if you were able to survive 45 seconds, even though I told you it was 30 seconds and I talked at the same time, isn't that kind of like a good thing? Good thing? Hmm? Hmm? Triple Dark says, you kind of sounded like a turkey just now. Turkey? Oh, when I went, "Whoa." Oh man, I don't know what I just did. I make a lot of sound effects, and I don't know how I make them because I make them up randomly on the spot, and then um, I was doing the noodle thing and I did the sound. Was it like, no, now I'm self-conscious. I can't remember how to make the sound. My tongue is frozen. Okay, whatever. We're gonna skip this. Travel actually says cat spit. Wait, what? Cat split. Oh, that makes more sense. That was cat spit. Oh, yes. Thank you for using the cat split emoji. Ooh, I accidentally invited someone to the live. I don't know what that was. I hovered slightly too long while trying to scroll up the screen and up the chat. We'll see if somebody accidentally joins in or joins in and is really funny because that would be great. TrueBlue323 says, evening, everyone. I'm If you're new to the show and you're just wondering what's happening right now, we finished up the live. I hang out in the chat to scroll through to see if there's any questions that came in, any comments that I need to address. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm scrolling backwards up in reverse time order through the chat to see if there is anything to check out. Book says, no glasses, coach? Yes, I had to film some stuff today and I had to turn on some lights. And when I wear glasses, the lights reflect a ton and there's a bunch of glare and it doesn't look really nice in a YouTube video. So I put on contacts. I usually don't put on contacts because it's a huge pain in the butt. Mostly because my eyes get extra tired and they dry out a lot faster than, or my eyes don't dry out when I'm wearing glasses. They dry out when I wear contacts. So after a couple hours, my eyes get really tired and I don't like wearing them. But um, I think after the live, I have to make some more content. So I'm keeping them on, and that's where we're at now. Martin says, good day, everyone. Greetings from Kuala Lumpur. Ooh, welcome. My first time here. I must say, very highly recommend. Amazing. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the very highly recommend. I mean, we've only been here this one time, and this is pretty early in the live, so I don't know how trustworthy this recommendation is, but I appreciate the intent. Thank you. Um, what else you got? What else you got? What else you got? I'm scrolling, I'm scrolling, I'm scrolling, I'm scrolling, I'm scrolling, I'm scrolling. There is Buddha. Oh, wow. So much has happened that I can't scroll to the beginning of this live. I guess the live has had lots of notifications. Thank you guys for chit-chatting and hanging out, because that is what happens when I can't scroll back to the beginning of the chat. There's too much going on, and TikTok is cutting off the amount of chat I can scroll through. All right. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for sending in good vibes, helping each other, support each other with, the suffering we put ourselves through. It's all good. I appreciate it. All right. Payeka says, when I raised up my calf, my legs shaking like very old people. I'm 50, not so old. That's okay. When you're doing the calf raises and your legs start shaking, it's could be a bunch of different things. One of them could be that your legs are just tired. Maybe today at some point you did a lot of walking, maybe you did a bunch of stairs, maybe you did some hiking, you did something that required your calves to be extra engaged, and maybe they're a little tired today. If that's the case, great. If it's not the case, then it could very well be that you did something else that affected the rest of the muscles in your legs a little bit. Maybe one, maybe all of them. And if they're tired, it's going to be much harder for them to stay stable. Um, there's lots of little tiny tests that you might be able to run to see what muscles are a little less stable. And one of them is just go stand out in a calf, like hang out in a calf raise. I can't show you, I'm too close to the cameras. Hang out in a calf raise until your body starts shaking. Um, if you have shorter legs, you might be able to sit on a regular chair and then sort of tippy toe and try to do a mini calf raise while seated. And that action of just trying to lift your knee up while having your foot down, that might cause whatever is causing your whole leg to shake to start shaking again. And then maybe you'll figure out which muscle you might have overworked today. Cool. Adrian says 10 out of 10 for Ken. Oh, that rhymes. It doesn't rhyme until you read it aloud. Thanks, you, Adrian. Brown Skin J 97 says your lives are so productive and helpful. Amazing. I'm glad that you feel that way. That's so nice. It's gonna make me cry. All right. I think I'm gonna take a quick look at YouTube chat because I think that's pretty much everything over on TikTok. Let's see. Lois says I'm here early. I saw that earlier. Jax is back. Hello. Queen RR is here. Jax says, okay, ready for more. A message is held for review. Ooh, I wonder what the filter blocked out. I'm gonna go read some hate in a little bit. Stephanie Blossom says, can you make some exercise videos for people that have balance issues? Yes, I can probably do that. I have not thought about it myself because it's not something I struggle with. So that is a good idea to do a little bit of homework and make sure we do something really good for it. So thank you for the suggestion, Stephanie. All right, Lois says, thanks, Ken. And that looks like that is all the YouTube chat. Fantastic. That was fast. That was smooth. I was out of battery on the YouTube phone anyway, so that could have wrapped up and the battery could have just died. But I grabbed the charger and everything's fine. Co says your teaching on stretches really helps out, man. Amazing. I'm glad you like them. I'm glad you're having fun. I'm glad it's feeling good because that's the goal, right? We all should be moving more, a lot more, probably a ton more than we probably are. And when fitness is not fun, when you have so many other options of things to do, including just regular doom scrolling, skipping past this live, going on to something else, is really hard to suffer through something that's just awful. Your body is physically suffering, your mind is suffering, and you're not even slightly entertained, right? That combination of all three things is kind of rough. So I try my best to make sure that when we can keep it fun, keep it lighthearted, keep it supportive, that we do, because fitness is hard enough as it is. Life has got so many other fun options. You could be snacking on cookies right now, but you're here stretching and suffering with me. You know, the least I can do is entertain you a little bit and try to make it useful for you so you feel like you got something done, that you feel accomplished. You can't feel accomplished if you didn't actually do anything. So this is mostly your credit, right? But I'm trying my best to support your work. All right. Oh, Stephanie says, love your vibe. Ah, thank you. Oh man, so many compliments. I feel so good. It was really good because I gotta go film another video later, and I need to make sure the vibes stay good, so that I don't go. Ah, all right. So this was good, and this was fine, and because I get that feedback from my girlfriend a lot. She's like, "Ken, after you're live, you have no energy for anything, and it's really sad." And she's not paying attention, so that's fine. All right, cool. I think we are done for today. It is 10:15. Oh, that was fast. We're doing really good on time. So speedy. All right. We are done for today. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you for coming back. Thank you for practicing a little bit of side splits and hip mobility work. We do this every single day starting at 9 p.m. Eastern. If you're not in the Eastern time zone, we started an hour and 16 minutes ago. That time is when we start pretty much every single day of the week, Monday through Sunday. It is, that's close enough. Saturday and Sunday are coming up. They're right around the corner. It's almost the weekend, just after tomorrow. On Saturday and Sunday mornings, we do bonus lives at 9 a.m. Eastern. And those lives are about more chilly stuff. We're just moving through our joints. We're slowly waking up. We're trying to move a little bit, get a little less stiff, give you a couple of tools to help you get less stiff in gentle, easy ways so that you can take it to work, wiggle out your spine a little bit, do some huh, 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 and hopefully not attract too much attention while you're trying to just make your body work a little bit better. All right. That is a joint mobility and posture-ish workout that we do on Saturday and Sunday mornings. So if that sounds like fun, come back in for that at 9 a.m. Eastern. Otherwise, I'll see you back at some 9 p.m. Eastern side splits and hip mobility tomorrow, the day after that. Come back whenever you feel like. All right, I'll see you guys real soon. Closing out. And True Blue 3716 on YouTube says, see everyone tomorrow evening. See you soon.